Okay, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Today I want to talk about Innovation Lifecycle of Spotify by Team Golf, my team. So, for an introduction, Spotify is a company, a music streaming company that's founded by Daniel Ek and Martin Lorenzon in 2006. Today, it is one of the largest music streaming providers with 696 million users, active users. Also, Spotify is a streaming service with two basic categories, which is free and premium option for the customers as its core innovation. Okay, um, for the second one is understanding the Christensen model. Okay, so why do we choose Christensen model over Winston? First of all, we have chosen Christensen model over Winston because Spotify is not a social necessity. I can also say that Spotify is a disruptive innovation. Um, I can also emphasize that Spotify is a business model innovation. Also, we can look how does the Christensen fit Spotify. Christensen model explain how a smaller, less firm company with fewer resources, um, like Spotify, can challenge a big company, their incumbents, such as record label, vinyl, CDs, iTunes, and etc. Also, Spotify innovation started with the neglected customers at the lower end market, which the incumbents really didn't, which the income didn't taken care of. So it was the significant weakness of the incumbent, and Spotify took advantage of that. Spotify starts with a low end entry in the market by improving its user experience and expanding its catalog slower and gradually move to the upmarket better and better to surpass the incumbent in the future.
Next, I will present the timeline for Spotify. In 2001, Apple launched iTunes, where the download-based model became the dominant way of consuming music. And then, in 2008, Spotify was founded in Sweden, introducing a freemium and premium subscription model that offer user more flexibility. By 2011, Spotify expanded to the United States, which marked the beginning of its global growth. Just 3 years later, in 2014, Spotify reached 10 million paid users, showing its rapid adoption worldwide. And then in 2018, Spotify went public with its IPO on the New York Stock Exchange, a major milestone for the company. The following years, in 2019, Apple officially shut down the iTunes Store, which was a clear sign of Spotify's success in disrupting the traditional music model. Between 2020 and 2023, Spotify expanded further by adding podcasts, audiobooks, and even AI-driven playlists to enhance user experience. Finally, in 2025, Spotify is expected to launch lossless audio, but at the same time, it faces new disruption from emerging platforms such as TikTok and AI generated music.
Okay, so for the disruptive innovation growth, um, in the early 2000 and the 1990s, the incumbents really dominate the market until like 2010-ish. In the early 2000s, CDs, vinyl, iTunes are the mainstream model. It emphasized the system where the consumer had to buy the music to own and listen to the music. And the problem is, it was very costly. Also, the performance was too strong, and it causes the market to overshoot. Casual listeners like student, like people who don't own money and just simply want to listen to music, don't really care about the quality of the audio. They just simply want to listen and enjoy the music. Then in 2008, the Spotify entered the market. The Spotify started at the bottom end. It was for the user who couldn't afford the CDs or download. Um, this caused the low market, the part where the incumbent really didn't care and taken care of. At this time, the incumbent were discounting Spotify, telling that Spotify is not good and have some quite low quality for the music. And also in 2014, we can see that the Spotify has reaches the region for the mid margin market. This proves that there's market sharing over owning. Um, Also, if you can see at the 2010, the mainstream market and the graph of incumbent have some area which we call overshooting. Basically, overshooting is like when the model, when the supplier give something more than what is needed, what is demanded by the market. So it can be quite costly for the mid margin market. Also, in 2019 and 18, the Spotify finally reaches the mainstream market, and this caused the incumbent a problem. For example, in 2019, the Apple officially shuts the iTunes store because the system of um, owning or buying the music track by track is not good by that time, because streaming is a better system. Also, in okay, that's it. And also, for the future, Spotify could also be a prey of disruptive innovation by newer and newer model and application. Um, Maybe AI or TikTok or short form music can disrupt how the Spotify controlling the market right now.
Next, I will present social impact and cons. Spotify has created several positive social impact. It provides easy access to millions of songs worldwide, allowing listeners to enjoy music anytime and anywhere. Through its Discover Weekly algorithm, Spotify also personalized music discovery, helping users find new songs that match their taste. Another positive impact is the support it given to independent artists, as the platform offers them a global reach. In addition, Spotify has expanded the creative economy by including podcasts and audiobook. However, there are also negative side of all cons. One major issue is the low royalties received by smaller artists, which remain a significant challenge. The music streaming market is also dominated by only a few major players, such as Apple Music and Amazon Music, which reduce diversity. Another concern is the over-reliance on algorithm, which can reduce appreciation for full albums. Lastly, Spotify faces strong threat from new platforms like TikTok and AI-generated music, which may disrupt its position in the industry music.
For our project, we decided to create a Spotify-inspired music recommendation assistant. The reason we chose this coding approach is because it combines simplicity in design with useful functionality. To begin with design first, our program is structured in a clear step-by-step flow that guides the user from the very beginning. It starts with a friendly welcome, then allows the user to select their preferred genre and current mood. The design is interactive, easy to navigate, and makes use of input validation to prevent errors, ensuring a smooth user experience. Functionally, the program works like a personalized assistant. Based on the user's choices, it provides a tailored music recommendation from different genres, such as K-pop, Malay, and English, matched with moods like happy, focus, workout, and sad. This shows how coding logic can be applied to real-world scenarios, simulating how music platforms personalize playlists. In short, we use this coding approach because it demonstrates both practical problem solving and user-centered design, while keeping the system simple, fun, and engaging to use. Okay, so this is the coding program that we have created. So to ensure whether it is successful or not, so I have tested it on onlinegdb.com to ensure whether this code can run or not. So okay, just click over here. Okay, so just assume that I'm a new user to use this Spotify recommendation assistant to know what songs I like. Okay, so what's your name? So I just put it Maybe Rafael. Okay, so next, we need to choose a genre, whether K-pop, Malay, or English. So I personally love Malay songs, so I need to put two. Like if you guys love English or maybe K-pop, you can put 1 or 3. So like me, I just put 2 because I love Malay songs. Okay, next we need to choose our mood. So for me, I'm happy right now, but for those people that who had a breakup, you guys can put sad, just put 4, or maybe when someone is working out, so they can put 3, or maybe when someone is studying or maybe doing assignment, so they can choose 2 because they need to focus. So like me personally, I'm happy, so I just choose 1. See, then overall it shows the song that really suits me, that really relates with my vibe. So here, the song that pops up over here is Crew. The artist are Crew, and the song is Awas. So basically, that is the what we call that, the overall of this coding.
Hi, I'm Sheikh, and I was responsible for developing the interactive program for our Spotify-inspired music recommendation system. Actually, I work with Aisha and Raf for this interactive program development. Today, I walk you through the programming work I complete. So, as required by the assignment, I design clear inputs and outputs. Example, username, text input for personalization, gender selection is a numeric input, mood selection is a numeric input. For the outputs, it's welcome message instruction, general confirmation, personalized song recommendation, and thank you message. As you can see here, the program uses simple but effective logic with if-else statement to map user choice to specific song recommendation. This structure allows for easy expansion and maintenance of the recommendation database. For the Git development process, this is our Git development process. I follow proper version control practice by making continuous, meaningful commits throughout the development. So this is our Git log trace, as you can see here. Each commit represents a specific feature addition, demonstrating continuous development rather than bulk pushing. So actually, we have 3 key features for this program. This is input validation is to prevent invalid entry using while loops, provide clear error message, and ensure program stability. We also have a user-friendly interface program. Emojis, as you can see here, we have emojis and clear formatting, step-by-step guidance, personalized response. And our program is a modular design, easy to add new genre of moods, clean, readable code structure, and simple to maintain and explain. This program also connects to Brian Winston innovation model by demonstrating how Spotify address the social necessity for personalized music discovery. Just as Winston model shows how innovation meets existing social needs, our program showcases how Spotify fulfills the need for instant personalized access to music. That's all for me. Thank you.